Alright, we got a computer in here today. As you can see, it's really dirty. Customer wants me to clean it and also wants me to go ahead and put it back together. My guess is they tried to disassemble it themselves and clean it, and they forgot how to do it. So I'm gonna have to put new thermal paste on here too. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and blow this out with air. See if we can get all this dust out. Already looking better. We just got it cleaned out. I just used compressed air to get it. There was a lot of dust in here. Had to use a brush to stir up the stuff that was down here because it was sticking on there pretty well, but all in all, it's pretty clean. What I did notice back here, and this is why they couldn't put the fan back on there, is because this piece actually fell down. So I'm gonna have to move that back up so that we can get the thermal paste applied and put that fan on there as well. Alright, so we got the back off here. It is a little bit dusty in there. However, as you can see here, we have this plate out, and that's just gonna secure there on the back. You have to take this panel off here, and I'll go ahead and show you how this is taken off and how it's put on. And I'm gonna do that because a lot of people don't know how to do that, so I'll show you that real quick. Alright, here's the back of the computer, and here's the panel that goes on there. This panel just slides on, so it has these little holes right here, and it has little hooks, and those little hooks, they just slide on there. I don't know if you can see the shape of that, but those hooks just slide on there. So you literally just push against it and slide it back, and it just pops on there. There's some screws, like 1 or 2 screws you have to take off from the top and the bottom here, and this literally just slides back and pops out. Alright, we gotta clean all this old thermal paste off here. I've already started doing that. So I'll take you some alcohol and some Q-tips and just get all of that off. Right, so now we got the thermal paste on. I like to put a film and then a dot. We also have the brackets put on here and another film of thermal paste so that we can connect the fan here, so that back plate is secured by these screws. We're gonna go ahead and put that fan on. Alright, so we have this secured in here. We went ahead and plugged it up as well. As you can see down here, it is plugged in there. It basically just clicks onto that bracket there with this switch. There's a switch right here. You can switch up and down, as you see. So it's nice and snug in there. And this is the bottom bracket here. It's right here. It's kind of dark, but that's the bottom bracket. That one just slides on, and then you just push down carefully as you secure this bracket. This one slides up and down, and then you can just flip that clip and you got it on there. Alright, now we have the graphics card in, and that literally just slides in down here. On some of them there's clips here on the back in order to take it out and put it in. So to take it out, you would push down on this and then you just lift up. You always have to make sure that it's not secured when you go to lift it up. We'll put some screws back in here, but there's the card, and the card is in. So now we're good to screw these back in here, and then we'll screw the panel that goes on here. Alright, so we have this bracket on here. We have this bracket on here, and basically there's just a screw you screw from the inside on both sides here. But first you have to screw these down, which actually hold the graphic card in there. And once you get those 2 screws on, you can screw this bracket on that just secures this area here. Now we're just going to get everything plugged up. Okay, so there was these 4 screws, and when they were taken apart, I guess they tried to take the power supply out. My guess is they just couldn't access the back here, so we're going to go ahead and screw those back in here so that we secure the power supply, and then we'll get everything plugged up. Alright, so we got it all plugged up here. Looks like everything's already plugged in. We're just gonna go ahead and plug it up now and pull up the monitor and see if we can't find out what the issue with this computer is here. I guess it was running laggy whenever playing Call of Duty, but it would play Fortnite fine. I'm gonna see if I can find out what the issue is with that. Looks like there's only one RAM stick in here. I don't know if there's supposed to be more. He didn't bring me any, so that could always be the issue. He could have a bunch of tabs open, which I've always seen, but basically I'm just gonna run it as the administrator and see if I can't find out what the problem is. Alright, we have to take a break on building this computer up. For one, I'm gonna clean it a little bit better because I don't like all of this dust down in here. For two, as you can see, the power supply is gone, and that's because the power supply is bad. Once I got everything connected, I tried plugging it in, and I got absolutely no power. So I tested all the connections here on the power supply, and the maximum amount that I got was in total 7 volts. So obviously this is no good. So I just ordered another one. Once that comes in, I'm gonna throw it in, and we should be good to go. Alright, finally got this thing running. This was supposed to be an easy clean. Turned out I needed to replace the motherboard and the power supply unit. The reason for that is it was taken apart and then brought to my shop. The customer tried to clean it, or his friend or somebody like that tried to clean it. They ended up damaging a bunch of things, so the motherboard was damaged as well as the power supply eventually gave out. The reason why he cleaned it is because it was running really slow, which can be due to the power supply or the motherboard even. So yeah, we finally got this thing hooked up, connected back together and running. So now we're gonna go ahead and test it and see what we can find out. Alright, so now that we have this guy plugged up and turned on, I've already went ahead and scanned for viruses, any of that stuff, and as you can see, this giant brick wall that should be closer to 0 than it is to 100 is the memory, right? So this computer was running slow, which is why they took it apart in the beginning, is because I thought it was dirty. But as you can see, the memory is obviously, it says 78% right now, but that's because it's not doing absolutely anything. Once I close this out and click on anything though, that moves up to 90%. So they definitely need more RAM. There's only one RAM stick in there. Definitely need more RAM, but overall this computer is good to go. Got a brand new motherboard, brand new power supply, things brand new.